Hey geeks, it's Andrea. The internet is a breeding ground for dark and creepy stories. Today we're going to go over 5 creepypastas to keep you up at night. If you enjoy hearing about creepypastas, we will be doing a couple more videos of them before this horror month is up. So be sure to stick around for some more creepypasta love. Alright geeks, let's go. The Expressionless. In June of 1972, a woman walked into a Los Angeles hospital wearing a white gown soaked in blood. Though she wasn't exactly a human woman. She had no eyebrows, and her skin appeared to be artificial. She had the look of a creepy mannequin. In her mouth, she had a small kitten clamped tightly in her jaws before she threw it on the floor and collapsed. She was taken to a room and cleaned up. The staff treating her couldn't look at her for more than just short glances because it made them uneasy. During this time, she remained completely still. She showed no emotion and had no expression whatsoever. She didn't respond whenever she was restrained either. Once the doctors tried to sedate her, though, she got up and pushed the doctors off with ease. During all of this, she showed no emotion in her face. After sitting up, she turned and looked at a male doctor that had previously tried to hold her down for sedation and smiled at him. Her teeth were unnaturally long and sharp. The male doctor she was smiling at asked her out loud, "What in the hell are you?" She turned her head sideways as if in an attempt to understand, all the while retaining that disturbing smile on her face. This went on for several moments until they heard the security coming down the hall. At that moment, she lunged onto the doctor and sunk her teeth into his throat, ripping his jugular out. She let him fall on the floor and leaned over him to watch him fade. As he was dying, she whispered into his ear, "I am God." Afterwards, she walked calmly over to the security guards and fed on them, one by one. The Rake. There's not a great amount of information about the humanoid creature, the Rake, but cases range from 1691 to 2006. Many who have encountered him have only left evidence in their suicide letters, as they took their own life so they wouldn't see him again. One woman wrote about her experience. Her kids were in their rooms while she slept in her bed with her husband. Around 4 a.m., she heard something and thought her husband had gotten out of bed, but when she shifted the blankets, she woke him up. As she apologized, he turned to look at her, only to gasp, grab her, and curl into a ball, attempting to keep his feet as far from the edge of the bed as possible. After looking at the direction he was staring in, she saw what she described as a naked man or a large hairless dog, calling its body position disturbing and unnatural. While her husband was terrified, she found herself concerned for it, thinking maybe it had been injured. In an instant, it was on the side of the bed, staring directly into her husband's face. She heard nothing for the time, but just watched it stare directly at him. Suddenly, the creature ran out of the door and headed to the kids' room. Wanting to protect her children, she jumped up and turned on the light. When she ran into the hallway, she could see it crouching over her daughter. When he noticed her, he looked directly at her, blood drenching from his face. As they rushed in to help her daughter, Clara, the creature ran down the stairs and presumably out of the house. The last words Clara would ever speak were, "He is the Rake." Goatman. Goatman is a half-man, goat-like creature. They are a breed of shapeshifters that can shift into any living thing or anyone. What could someone do if they could perfectly imitate your mother, father, or even your lover? One night, after telling scary stories and talking about the legend of the Goatman around a campfire in the desert, a group of men got into a truck to go home. Once on the road, they saw something chasing after their truck. Unsure of what it was, they sped the vehicle up in an attempt to outrun it. The creature increased its pace as well. It was able to catch up to the truck and flip it over. 3 of the men inside were dragged away by the creature, never to be seen again. 2. Where the Bad Kids Go. An anonymous writer told the story in 2010. When the anonymous author was around 6 years old, they lived through a war-torn time in Lebanon. The author spoke about remembering a television show that they used to watch. The show included strange images that would cover topics like bad kids stay up late, bad kids have their hands under their covers when they're asleep, and bad kids steal food from the fridge late at night. All of which seemed mostly harmless, but at the end, the camera would show an old, rusted, locked door. The anonymous author writes about remembering hearing sounds of screams. Afterwards, Arabic text would come up on the screen that read, "That's where the bad kids go." Once an adult, the thought still plagued the author's mind from time to time, so he decided to look into it. After discovering the studio, it wasn't long until he was able to break his way in to discover the filthy, bloody location where the bad kids went. Slenderman. Okay, let's be honest here. It's 2016 and you're on the internet. You probably know of Slenderman. Just in case you haven't, he's a tall, slender, faceless man-like creature. His arms and legs are unnaturally long, and in some depictions he has 8 tentacles coming from his back in a wing-like fashion. Although he was created on the Something Awful forums, people have reported seeing him stare into their windows at night or walking in front of their cars. Okay, so let's talk about a very real event that happened in the name of Slenderman. In Wisconsin, 2 12-year-old girls brought a third girl into the woods. Once they got there, they proceeded to stab her 19 times. She was stabbed in multiple parts of her body. 2 of the knife wounds were through major arteries, and 1 was a millimeter from her heart. The victim of the attack was able to crawl into the road and was rescued by a bicyclist who found her and called 911. The girl did survive, thankfully. The reason the girls gave to stabbing her was because they claimed they wanted to show devotion to Slenderman. Alright geeks, that's going to do it for this video. Believe it or not, we have just completed our first week in our first horror month. If you enjoy hearing about creepypastas or other scary content, be sure to subscribe. We are doing 31 creepy countdowns in 31 short days, so be sure to come back tomorrow for more. Alright geeks, I'll see you tomorrow.